Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video we got to talk a little bit about Xbox because we finally have some fun Xbox news to talk about, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So let's get into the video. And before I get into any topic, I want to say really quickly, shout out to Dragon's Dogma 2, because I, like a lot of you, have been playing nothing but Dragon's Dogma 2 this weekend, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm absolutely loving it. In fact, I'm loving it so much, I bought it on PC, the Deluxe Edition, and I bought it on Xbox, the Deluxe Edition. I'm playing two different characters, but God, I have been loving Dragon's Dogma 2. But Dragon's Dogma 2 isn't the reason we're here, guys, and I'm sure you guys know this. The reason we're here is to talk about Xbox, and it's in the form of an ex-Xbox developer, Toys for Bob, or very brief Xbox developer, because they got acquired and then like a couple months later they bought their independence, or they got their independence back, and now they're on their own doing their own thing. But good news is that their own thing seems to be tied very heavily to Xbox, and this is news coming straight from Jez Corden over on Windows Central. And if you're curious what I'm talking about, well, it's this right here. It says, Xbox has reached an agreement with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro developer Toys for Bob for their new game. And this is something that was talked about quite a lot whenever they parted ways from Microsoft and Activision I think it was late last month or very early this month whenever that happened. God, time is just a flat circle at this point. But whenever they parted from Microsoft and Activision, one of the things that was talked about quite a lot is that they do plan to be partnering with Microsoft going forward, whether that's in the form of one game, two games, three games, four games, mini games, all their games. Who knows what the case may be. But they are going to be partnering with Microsoft. And we're seeing right now that it looks like Xbox has reached an agreement with them for their next game. And this is all stuff that was reportedly talked about during a recent town hall meeting, where Matt Booty said that an agreement has now been reached between Xbox and Toys for Bob for their first game as an independent studio. However, he stops short of describing exactly what it will be, although he did say something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, quote, it will be similar to other games Toys for Bob has made in the past. And I mean, much like the title for this article says, Xbox has reached an agreement with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro developers. So games of their past, the big notable ones that are like the games that Toys for Bob generally makes, are Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. So if I had to guess, it would probably be between one of those two things. And if I had to guess even further, I would say it's probably Spyro. And that's based entirely on the fact that when Toys for Bob gave their whole letter about leaving Microsoft and Activision, they teased a little bit of something at the end, but they ended the article by saying, keep your horns up. And that, to me, sounds an awful lot like Spyro. I mean, Spyro obviously has horns. Now, for me personally, if I'm being selfish here, if I was the one who was choosing what they were working on next between Crash and Spyro, I'm picking Spyro just because I think Spyro, to me personally, is a more badass character than Crash. And Crash is cool, but it's just, Spyro's a fucking dragon. Spyro's a fucking dragon who breathes fire. I mean, it's hard to get cooler than that. But as for the reality of what this means going forward for Xbox and Toys for Bob, well, obviously it means that Toys for Bob will be making a game and it will be coming to Xbox at some point in the future. We don't know how far along that game is in development. That game might just now be starting development. I mean, they did just get freed from the shackles of Activision and Call of Duty, so they could just now be starting this. And if that's the case, we'll probably be waiting a while to see what it is. But I am excited nonetheless to see what they are working on. And as for Xbox, this is great regardless, because looking at their catalog of games, they've got a decent amount of mature games. In fact, that's a lot of what they do is mature games. They love FPS games. They love action games. I mean, we're looking at Hellblade coming out in a few months. They love games like that. you know, big, massive multiplayer games, or not so much massive multiplayer, but games with a multiplayer focus, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, stuff like that. But they don't have something in their catalog that can be a mascot. They don't have a Spyro or Crash. I guess technically now they do, but they don't have a brand new game for Spyro or Crash that can be the mascot for a whole generation of gamers on Xbox. And this is a move that would definitely give them that. And that's something that they desperately do need, at least in my opinion. And what's funny is I was actually reading the very end of this article from Jez Corden, and it says, perhaps long-suffering Banjo-Kazooie fans could get a glimmer of hope from this deal too. And listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't grow up with Banjo-Kazooie. I don't have any nostalgia for Banjo-Kazooie, like, at all. But I know a lot of people do. And I mean, hey, listen, for their sake, I hope that that could be something that this is going to lead to, but I wouldn't count on it. My money is, like I said, on Spyro, but hey, this is also another possibility that could be looked at some point in the future with Toys for Bob and Microsoft and their whole partnership going forward. Who knows? But let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this. I know the video is kind of a little bit shorter today, but I just happened to see this article by Jez Corden, and I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I've covered some actually fun Xbox news, some actually fun, positive Xbox news. So this can be a little bit of a palate cleanser for the channel. Just a little bit of a palate cleanser for the channel. I know I haven't been covering news that much as of recent because there hasn't been a ton of news to cover. And the last news that I did cover, a lot of people would consider that to be bad news with Microsoft releasing other games on other platforms. But here we've got brand new Xbox news, and it's positive, and that's good for everybody. Even if you're not interested in that, it's just good for the morale right now, quite frankly. So leave a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling about it. Leave a like if you liked the video, and if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, consider ringing that notification bell, because it helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel, and it helps promote me in the algorithm, helps push the videos out to way more people, and I always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.